took the captain's seat, that's here on the left.
Oh, excellent.
Once I sat down, I moved the seat forward. I'll do a bit more as well with it. Here we go. Okay, right, moving forward.
Oh, yes.
Seat here. There's the seat here. Right. Sit down. Okay. Obviously, the early 70s flight deck. TCAS fitted in the mid-90s. It looks a bit more modern as it is. That's this US legislation about congestion around airfields, but I think that's everywhere now. Got the airspeed indicator. There's two of them. There's a normal aircraft speed, 60 to 550 miles an hour. Take off about 250, a lot faster than other aircraft. You should do that about 0 to 40 seconds. Land at about 187 knots, which is faster than other aircraft, though not to the same degrees of takeoff is. But you've got Mach ASI, 0.5, don't know about that, it's a master warning. 0.5, Mach 1, speed of sound, 1.5, Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. In that box here you'd have the Mach numbers, which in flight, in cruise, usually be about 2.02, 2.00, about 13, 50 miles an hour, 23 miles a minute. Not a way to describe it. Two altimeters, maximum altitude or JFK flights usually about 58,000 feet, but on a Barbados services which are longer, we often made 60,000, 11 miles up, sky's a lot darker up there, you see the curves of the earth. We sort of tend to attain Mach 2 at about 50,000 feet and level out about 55 as the aircraft lights its fuel burn, it drifts up to its maximum altitude and it's on the way down. A lot of navigation stuff around here, but most of it's done by the free inertial computers here. Again, it's just something that had been carried on, had to be in place next year because it's become a bit technically obsolete. They'll be updated several times over the years. Like I said, programmed in various modes and not switched on at the moment. Nose visor is in a flight position. Obviously, the position doesn't include the windows being open. And in the park position. The visor, heat resistant and very streamlined. But for taxi and takeoff, we need a better view. So it's visor down, lays down flat, you pull that handle, and nose down to 5 degrees, run through airborne, put the nose and visor back up. The air hitting this, it's noisy and draggy. When we come into land, the aircraft's got a very high angle of attack due to the lift effect of the wings. A wing designed for high speed flight, but very cleverly designed for those bumps and curves and dips to create a lift, to pitch the nose up so the aircraft can land at reasonably slow speed. And so we get to land, visor down, nose down to 12 degrees. On takeoff, the engineer moves his seat forward, he'll operate the throttles and the reheats. Fuel engine power on takeoff, that's 38,000 pounds of thrust per engine, and of which 6,000 is reheated, or when we put fuel to the back of the engine and ignite it like a giant blowtorch. Creates extra thrust, does use up a bit of fuel, it's mostly, associated with military airplanes. Right through here, slow myself down. While he's doing that, he has to keep an eye on the green go lights here for the 4 main engine parameters for 1 to 4 engines. Rotation speeds, fuel flow, exhaust gas temperature, and the nozzles at the back, we'll see them later on, what position they're open at, to its position for flight. Once through airborne, reheats off, nose throttled back about 15% for noise abatement. We don't go supersonic over land because of the sonic boom. But even subsonic, we're still about 100 miles an hour faster than other aeroplanes, Mach 0.95. So we head to New York, about 20 minutes of the flight, we'll reach the Bristol Channel, and it'll be, we'll tell the passengers we're about to fill 2 slight bumps as the reheats come on, 2 at a time, 2 and 3 and 1 and 4. We put all 4 at once, so it could be, one didn't work, which does happen, could be some thrust asymmetry. Also the passengers feel a shove. As it is, they'll feel 2 slight nudges as they're engaged in pairs. And the reheats will be on again for about 10 minutes, about 70 to 90 seconds on takeoff and about 10 minutes for a climb. Get through Mach 1 almost immediately at 29,000 feet, and the reheats come off about 10 minutes later at Mach 1.7, 47,000 roughly, and say Mach 2 at 50,000. But to maintain Mach 2, the engine, 50,000 feet plus, the engines only need about 8 to 10,000 pounds of thrust and no reheat. The aircraft's very bizarre. So we've got a system called the AICUs. Basically, each intake has 2 ramps in the roof before you get to the engine, A and B. There's 8 of them. Each one of these ramps has got hydraulically actuated computer control system. I say computer, each one's about this size. They're huge by modern standards. And what they do, they take air data, engine data, and they constantly move the ramps down and constantly adjust for any air temperature differences, air pressure, engine performance, attitude of the aircraft. Very, very complex indeed, and it's a major breakthrough technology to do this. And the aircraft companies use aboard, those companies are coming out, it's still a UK state secret 30 years on. Not high tech, but unprecedented. And if it doesn't work, you get engine surges, things like that, you know. And we have to have 7 of these 8 ramps working for the for the aircraft to be advanced supersonic. Did anyone see that programme on Sunday night? Try and watch. The little guy talking about the intakes, he was involved at BAC, and he wrote a simple guide to the intakes, the idiot's guide, about this size, laid forward, about that thick, because it really is a black art. Rather, we've got the outer visor and it's crystalline heat. Although the air at 50 or 55,000 feet plus is about -50, -60, the air molecules will still get heated up as we go through really fast. And that will generate heat on the nose, which will reach 125 degrees centigrade. It reaches 128, we pick that speed slightly, 127 is the maximum allowable. Doesn't happen very often. Had one air test back in August, well, we know how it was in August. But as we spent hours supersonic, rather than minutes like military aircraft, this heat goes, and I wouldn't hold out much hope for this heritage flight either. You know, how much it costs to fly an aircraft just subsonically, 100 hours in 5 years. Well, if he's on the ground, he's still got to run the engines every week or two, preferably every week. And a very short engine run, what he's using to reheats is 800 kilograms of fuel. Who's to pay for this if the airline's not running it? So it is the end, full stop, I think. It's not what BA wanted just yet. I think they were looking at get-out clauses next year. We didn't help ourselves raise the ticket price in the face of recession when we launched 2 years ago. We didn't. Some people engineering cut staff back here, which means we can't fill 2 a day. We're making 5 million a week. We can easily make 10 million a week or more. I think it's a very great pity we're not doing round the bay trips. Fitted out for Foxtrot. And it did its first test of the line in July 2001. It went up to near Iceland because it's 58,000 feet. The air temperature up there in the polar regions is warmer than it is at the tropics. It's the opposite to what we expect. And so, if it was okay then with the higher air temperatures, it would be okay full stop, and it was. By the same fashion, that's how we can do Barbados non-stop, because Barbados is off the coast of South America, it's not the Caribbean, and you're flying through the equator, the air's cooler up there, makes the engines more efficient, and you get a couple hundred miles extra range. We couldn't do it non-stop, Barbados distance, going across the North Atlantic, if America wasn't in the way, but so it is unlimited the aircraft's range, but the atmospheric conditions allow it. But a Concorde could never go over the pole, because the air is just too warm up there. But the fuel, say maximum fuel uplift is about 96 tonnes for Barbados, or there's also more baggage on those flights as well, because it's a vacation destination. And New York, 85 to 90. At the moment it's the low 90s because everyone's on board, it's completely full, bigger cabin upload, it's not just business anymore, everyone wants serving, and so it's a heavier upload than we normally do. We've got the air data computers here. The famous displays seen in the cabins that give the speed in both miles per concern on here. And it's largely for PR, I think,
It's all right, mate.
Facing the cockpit, you can take a photograph in the front of the aircraft if you're facing the cockpit.
Who said that?
If you use like at the back of it, Joe.
deck, number 2 forward cabin, 3 and 4 the rear cabin. So you've got one spare, which is needed. Sometimes you run comps out, you've got to bleed the other. Basically taking the air from the engine, cooling it, filtering it several times. And loading with just a much greater mass flow than other aircraft, because it demands on this aeroplane. Hydraulics, management, electrical generation system.
Tail one going.
There you go. Before
Come on then. Photo call. Yeah.
Got ya.
I want to be the man behind the camera.
Don't go down that far enough to go wait for the true shot line.
Is this one going out tonight?
Doesn't look like it's now, no. We'll have that anything like
Steve, we're off. Yeah.